Hello there and welcome. This is Madalane Wiseman. I'll be publishing video lessons for physical sciences and some tutorials. Most of the material for the first videos will be mostly what's covered in the KEPS curriculum, but later on I will extend beyond the KEPS curriculum. Okay. Before we go through all of that, let us take a step back and remind ourselves of what physical science is all about. In fact, let's start with a question of what is science? What do you think science is? You can pause the video and think, well, what do you understand science to be? There are no wrong answers here. So just pause the video and think about the question and then come back and compare your response with what I think science is. Okay, this is how I summarize what I think science is. The key is that we formulate the best explanations of what we observe in the real world, and collecting, recording, and analyzing data or evidence to support our explanations. And we use mathematics as a language, and the techniques of problem solving from mathematics to best come up with that best describes whatever phenomenon that we know to be true. Okay. The key thing, of course, is that whatever explanations in science, the explanations need to be supported by evidence. Right? And you've heard about scientific theory. Again, let me just give you a moment to think about the meaning of scientific theory. What do you think scientific theory is? What is scientific theory? Pause the video and think about that, and then come back and compare the response with what I think a scientific theory is. Right. Scientific theory is a well established explanation of natural phenomena based on supporting evidence, which just repeats what I described science to be anyway. But scientific theory is that explanation. So that explanation that you come up with, which is supported by evidence and mathematical frameworks, and also you can be able to demonstrate it experimentally. Just the word repeatable, there's a word repeatable there, implies that if you do an experiment locally, let's say here in South Africa, your lab is located here, and then the same experiment should be able to produce the same results when done elsewhere, let's say in China. So that's how science, that's my understanding of the scientific theory. Right. The procedure upon which we, in fact, let me just pause a moment here and give you an opportunity also to think about what do you think a scientific method is. Of course, you've seen this terminology before, but I'm interested to sort of hear from you. What do you think a scientific method is all about? Again, pause the video and then think about that, and then compare your response with what I think a scientific method is. There are no wrong answers here, again. Okay. Let's go on, and you can see the key thing here again describing scientific method is it's a one way of acquiring new knowledge, or you are validating or refining the existing knowledge, or testing a hypothesis. And then it's done by making observations, and again you conduct some experiments to test these hypotheses, and you also apply mathematics. See how does what's a relationship on the variables that you're observing, and then describe this relationship mathematically. And a hypothesis is a prediction, the nature of relationship between two quantities. If I have a question about how do voltage values, or how does voltage affect brightness of the bulb, so I'll employ a scientific method to investigate increasing voltage values and their effect on the brightness of the bulb. Then the hypothesis, we have formulated a hypothesis, which is a prediction that is also called an educated guess. So I'm not just going to randomly just put in some prediction there, but I will first look at what is voltage, right, and what do I mean by brightness, and understanding that voltage is energy per charge. So knowing that, then it's reasonable to expect that the more voltage you have, the brighter the bulb will be. So then the hypothesis will be that you increase the voltage values, will increase the brightness of the bulb. So that's what we mean by hypothesis. But you have to conduct an experiment to test whether that's true or not. Okay, so this is just an introduction video, and then we're just recapping on this terminology that you probably already know. So from this video onwards, I will go through the scientific method and some measurements, and then we will proceed with classical physics, which is mechanics, and later on I may do also chemistry as well. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye. Bye.